otters. So for these Firefly jars, we are going to be using mixed media. Mixed media means that you are using more than one artistic material to create your artwork. In this case, we will be using crayons and paints. So you will need crayons, your watercolor paints, a paintbrush, and a dish of water, and as always, you may want to grab some paper towels. We will start by using crayons and then move on to adding watercolor paints. So if you want to break this up to 2 portions, you could just start now with crayons and then do the painting later. It does not have to be done all in one sitting. So I'm about to start right now. Get your piece of paper ready and grab a crayon or 2. Here we are going to start with drawing a jar. I'm going to start with drawing the base of my jar, which is a shape called a cylinder. I start with drawing 2 parallel lines. Those are lines that are facing across from each other. And then I'll create the bottom, which is a slightly curved line connecting those 2 parallel lines. Next, I'm going to make a lid for my jar. To create the lid, I'm drawing another slightly curved line at the top, 2 short lines that are also parallel, and then another curved line on top. That creates my cylindrical jar. Next is time for my fireflies. I'm going to choose my black crayon and draw a pretty big black dot inside my jar. That's going to be the head of one of my fireflies. Next, I'm drawing its body, which is a big O shape. And here I am drawing wings. I'm going to draw several more fireflies in my jar. And I'm going to experiment with drawing some different shaped wings, so you could experiment with that too. You could even create your own wing shapes. I do want you to know that it is important to draw these fireflies either in crayon, like I am here, or in Sharpie. If you were to do it using washable markers or paints, the second part of this isn't going to work, so please make sure that you are using crayons or a permanent marker. You can add as many or as few fireflies as you would like. So I'm just filling my jar with them. I think that's all I'm going to do for the fireflies. That will be good. Next up, I'm grabbing my yellow crayon, and this is going to be kind of the glowy part of those fireflies. So I'm using my crayon to just draw some really quick, almost scribbly lines coming off of those fireflies. And this is going to be to show that they are glowing. So you can do as much yellow as you want. And I think you could kind of see in my preview where I'm going with this. So I'm going to do that on all of my fireflies. I'm also adding in some other colors, some grass. Remember too, you can pause this if you need to. Next, I grab that white crayon. I'm drawing swirls in the sky. I know, it's white crayon and you can't see it against white paper, but just wait, magic will happen. So I'm just going through and drawing different swirls, different dots in my sky. So make sure you do that too. Even though I know you can't see them now, you will see it later. I'm also just adding some little circles and dots in my jar as well. So now we're moving on to the paints. And this is the part where you're going to see why it was so important to use crayon. First, I'm wetting the inside of my jar with my paintbrush and just a little bit of water. And then I am painting over it just to give a color to the inside of my jar. I'm doing some blue and some red. You can add whatever colors you want to the inside of your jar. As always, this is your art and your choice, so you can use whatever colors you want. So I'm just going to keep going here using water and paint. Remember, the more water that you add to your paint, the lighter color you're going to get. The less water you add to your paint, the darker color it's going to be. If you want your colors to be darker, you could always do more than one layer of paint too. Layering your paint on top of each other will make it look darker. And as you can see while I'm doing this, painting over the crayon, it's not like washing my crayon away or blurring my crayon lines together. The crayon actually just makes the water resist. It just goes away. That's because crayons are made of wax, and wax is resistant to water. So that's why crayon works so awesome for this assignment, because do you see how you can see my little white dots in my jar and also my glowing yellow crayon? Here I am just painting my lid, and now next up, just adding more colors here, but next up I'm going to do the sky, and you'll see how that looks too with the white in there as well. As a reminder, on the Google Bitmoji Classroom, there is also a really great book by Eric Carlisle. He has like the best illustrations in his books. And there is also a fun YouTube video that will teach you about why fireflies glow and the science behind that. So I drew grass at the bottom of my page too. That's an option for you as well. You don't have to do it, just an option. Green is my favorite color, so I love to incorporate green wherever I can. What is your favorite color? You guys should tell me on Seesaw in a comment or with a voice video what your favorite color is. This project also just kind of gets me excited for summer. Like, I think of when you go outside in the summer and you get to see all the fireflies out at night. There's just kind of a magical feeling about that. Here I'm also adding a shadow under my jar with a really, really watered down black. And now for the background. Whoa, there you can see where I had my white crayon. How cool is that, you guys? So you can see the white crayon when you paint over it with your watercolor paints. I just love how that looks. For my night sky, I'm using colors like black, purple, and blue to create that night sky. You could go ahead and just use all black for your sky. I do kind of like the way the purple and blue looks with the black though. Reminds me of like a galaxy. And here I'm just going through and filling in all those spaces in my background. Remember that the less water you use, the darker your colors are going to be, and the more water you use, the lighter they will be. Sometimes if you use a paper towel, you can dab off some extra water on your paintbrush or even extra water that has collected in your paints, and that can help you get darker paint as well. And here I'm just putting on some finishing touches. I had so much fun creating this mixed media project, and I hope that you guys love it too. I cannot wait to see how they turn out, otters. I have had so much fun making art with you this year, and I hope you have had fun too. Enjoy.